We go to Hollywood.
We suck again!
I've said it before. Actors in Hollywood actually talk about politics that their opinions matter.
What the fuck?
And they really don't.
What?
Enter Jennifer Lawrence.
Okay.
She says she's made so many mistakes talking about politics in the past
You're kidding.
that she now regrets them.
Oh my God!
What the fuck?
I'm Jazz Berganza on this. Common sense.
Hold up.
Rational thought.
Wait a minute.
An epiphany?
Stop it!
From Hollywood?
Bullshit.
No. Yeah. And it's what's next.
The game has just begun.
What's up, everyone? Jazz Berganza, what's next? Your daily dose. Common sense, facts, and salt. Hope you guys are feeling good today on this Monday. And of course, I like to say, new day, new week, and new bullshit. But this is not that. It's not bullshit. It's actually common sense, an epiphany, rational thought, and coming to grips with the mistakes that you've made. What am I talking about? We go to Hollywood. Yeah, what a segue. Jennifer Lawrence, actress Jennifer Lawrence, of course, who is more famed for her X-Men, came out recently in an interview and said, you know what? I made so many mistakes regarding talking about my politics. You know, talking about Trump. It's ripping Hollywood apart. And I'll tell you right now, yeah, I'm not a fan of it. And I regret what I've said. This is coming from Hollywood. Regret, remorse, coming to grips that you made mistakes and that, yeah, you know what? What I've said really isn't working. I know, right? And here we go. This comes out of Breitbart. Jennifer Lawrence says criticizing Trump adds fuel to a fire, ripping the country apart. Celebrities don't make a difference who people vote for. Abso-fucking-lutely. And there she is. Actress Jennifer Lawrence spent years pushing left-wing policies, trashing Republicans, and smearing President Donald Trump. Now she says it's beginning to dawn on her that the celebrities constantly spouting off about politics not only hurts the film industry, it's ripping the country apart. Appearing on the Interview podcast, yeah, that's original, sponsored by the New York Times, Lawrence said that she's regretting her past attacks on Donald Trump and Republicans. Now, don't get ahead of yourselves. She's not turning to the conservatives. She's not going MAGA. She's just saying, hey, I made some boo-boos. When the podcast host tried to steer the 35-year-old mother star towards her thoughts on politics, the actress demurred. Quote, I don't really know if I should. The first Trump administration, it was so wild and just how can we let this stand? I felt like I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off, she said, speaking in her previous political proclamations. But as we learned, election after election, celebrities do not make a difference on whosoever, on people who vote for. So then what am I doing? I'm just sharing my opinion on something that's adding fuel to a fire that's ripping the country apart. We are so divided. She admitted. So she went on to say that she's beginning to lean away from talking about her political ideas. Quote, I think I'm in a complicated recalibration because I'm also an artist, Lawrence told the podcast host. With this temperature, the way things are turning out, I don't want to start people turning off the films and art that could change the consciousness or change the world because they don't like my political opinions. I want to project my craft so you can still get lost in what I'm doing, and if I can't say something that's going to speak to some peace or lowering the temperature of some sort of solution, I don't want to be a part of the problem. I don't want to make the problem worse. She added that she noticed many actors constantly blabber on about politics have turned off a huge number of fans who might otherwise have watched their films and TV shows. Exactly. But now it won't because the actors' loud political opinions have drowned out and angered so many fans. Quote, you watch these actors faces who have had incredible careers and made incredible contributions, and then on one half of the internet doesn't want to see their face anymore. I get so upset for those people, and I feel so wrong, she explained. Lawrence also insisted that she'd rather let her work express her political points. I try to express my political points through work, she said. A lot of movies coming out from my production company. Didn't know she had one. Couldn't pick it out of police lineup. Our expressions of political landscape, and that's how I feel like I can be helpful. Lawrence added that she now regrets speaking out so forcefully on politics, and also noted that American people actually voted for Trump's policies, so who is she to open her mouth and say, you're wrong? I regret everything I've ever said. I regret everything I've done or said, she said, only half in jest. The second Trump term feels different because he said what he was going to do. We knew what he did for 4 years. It was very clear. And that's what we chose. Yes, the American people chose Trump. Lawrence also admitted in years past that she was awkward and young, and she chagrined on how she conducted herself in public in her 20s. I've also grown up and, yeah, a lot more nervous about what I say publicly, she admitted. I don't want to give an interview that sounds like a bunch of sound bites or word salad. Yes, you don't want to sound like Camilla. I don't think it's interesting, and it would be so inauthentic and not like what I'm here to do, so I'm trying to strike that balance. Lawrence also appeared in the film Die My Love, which hits theaters November 7th. The film follows the story of a woman who slips into madness in an isolated house in Montana. She came to grips with reality that people like Trump's policies, and they voted for him, and now he's in office. Wow. Why is it so hard for those in that Hollywood bubble to come to that realization? Case in point, Robert De Niro. The man is just full of so much venom and hate and spouting off nonsensical garbage about Trump every time someone shoves a microphone in his face. Jon Stewart, another one. You know, he just did a recent interview with, with Camila, and she spouted off dropping F-bombs. You know, well, then again, she was drinking at the time. But it's a shame that more Hollywood actors and actresses having come to this realization, come to grips that, yeah, what you say about politics, people don't really give a damn. They don't. There's no way in common sense land that anytime Hollywood opens their mouth that it's going to move the needle. Because if that's the case, then you got a serious problem. Then you don't live in a world of reality. Because whether it's Jennifer Lawrence, John Bon Jovi, Robert De Niro, Jim Carrey, Tom Cruise. Speaking of Tom Cruise, when Tom Cruise was promoting his final Mission Impossible film, they tried to bring up Trump. He blew it off. He said, I'm not here to talk about politics. I'm here to talk about my movie. That's what you're supposed to do. As a Hollywood legend, and especially putting out films, your job is to promote your movie. Your job is not to promote politics, and Tom Cruise never has. So that's the great thing about him. Yeah, not a fan of his Scientology, but you can't be perfect. But for Jennifer Lawrence, good for her that she's come to a realization that, hey, you know what? Me being a Hollywood actress, doesn't really have any influence on who votes for who, Now if you ask those in California, they may say, yeah. Jennifer Lawrence is against this, but she's for this. Wait, you know what? I think I'll vote for that. No. And yet, I'd like to know in that interview if Gavin Newsom, talking about his presidential, meanderings for 2028, that he thinks he's going to run and win, even though he got smacked around by one Ron DeSantis. I'd like to know her thoughts on that, What does she think about Gavin? What does she think about how he's done in such a wonderful and magnificent job in California politics? I guarantee you that behind closed doors, she probably can't stand the motherfucker. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Berganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share, subscribe to it. Hit that notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. Continue spreading the word about the show. Appreciate you guys watching as always. And we'll see you next time. Peace.